What's up everyone, welcome to Passive Passion Online Income, and this is your boy Cassie coming to you with a brand new video, where in today's video I'm actually going to be talking to you about how retirement funds can generate cash flow beyond stocks. It's going to be an interesting video, so stay with me till the end. Take notes of some really golden nuggets that I'm going to be sharing with you, and also valuable information that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in today's video. All right, so I'm going to be with you right after this short-lived intro. So, welcome back. What if I told you that these days there are many people who are questioning not the genuinity, but actually the purpose or the effectiveness of putting their retirement funds in things like mutual fund, stocks, and basically investment schemes or investment programs which look precarious, which seem to be unsafe, which doesn't have any sort of guarantee. You know what I'm saying? What if I told you that there are people who are actively exploring real world assets, asset-backed opportunities that may potentially generate cash flow beyond the traditional market system? Let that sink in. Let me make one thing very clear from the beginning. This video is not financial advice. Every investment carries risk, and I always advise people to do their due diligence, all right? And consult licensed professionals before you make any investment decisions. In today's video, I'm actually going to open your mind to a completely different realm, all right? So it's going to be an interesting conversation, all right? But if, let's say, I wouldn't call it a monologue either, all right? But what I would say is there's going to be an important, imperative, educational video that is really going to enlighten you. So we're going to be discussing about cash flowing assets. We're also going to be discussing about alternative investing. And more importantly, this is going to be a video where I'll be telling you how investors are exploring the potential in a fantastic industry called the shipping industry by making use of tools or mediums called shipping containers. By making use of containers, leasing them, and ensuring that they are able to build their financial portfolio, all right, by diversifying things at a broader level. Because in today's economy, especially the retirees, business owners, and experienced investors are starting to ask an important question. And the question is there a way to potentially create recurring cash flow outside rather than simply depending on traditional and conservative investment programs like bonds, mutual fund, or stocks? And that is exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's video. So for the ones of you that do not know me, I'm Kasim. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an investor, and also a business coach, helping people make wise decisions when it comes to their businesses and investments. And in this channel, we discuss asset-backed opportunities, shipping container investments, publishing businesses, alternative cash flow systems, and long-term wealth building strategies. Now, over the years, many people were taught one thing, which is put your money into stocks, put your money into mutual funds, put your money into retirement accounts, and wait for 20, 30 years. That's right. Wait for 20, 30 long years. Can you imagine? And for many people, that strategy has worked. All right. But today, we are living in a completely different world. All right. So if you are part of those baby boomers thinking that you can wait for 20, 30 years and then, wait for some sort of miracle to happen. And let me tell you, you are living in some weird paradise, or you're going through some sort of an illusion, all right? So you have to get out of your Delulu world, all right, and be more pragmatic. So as I was saying, today we are living in a completely different world. Inflation is rising. The cost of living is increasing. Markets can be volatile, and many people are looking for diversification, real world assets, and recurring income opportunities. That is why alternative investments are becoming a major topic of discussion globally. Now again, I'm not saying people should abandon traditional investments, but what many experienced investors are doing today is diversification, focusing on diversification. They're looking at real estate, infrastructure, logistics, commodities, leasing models, and other cash flowing producing assets. And one sector which has become highly significant when it comes to the global trade is the significance of shipping containers. So now I'm going to talk to you about the reasons why is it that shipping containers matter. So most people do not think much about the importance of shipping containers, so to speak. But the reality is almost everything around us moves through shipping containers. What I mean by that is let's say the chair you're sitting on, the furniture, clothes, food that you consume, electronics, gadgets, you name it. All these things have reached from a certain point to another point with the help of shipping containers. Global trade depends heavily on container logistics. Without containers, supply chain slows down. And without containers, international trade becomes difficult. And because of all these reasons, container leasing has become an actual business model which many people are tapping into. Now, what many people are not realizing is that shipping containers ain't just being used by shipping companies alone. Containers are leased, containers are deployed. They are leased out to logistic operators and several other different leasing companies. And this is where the concept of cash flow generation enters the picture. Now let me explain how the whole model works. I'm going to explain this in a very simple manner, so pay close attention. At Came Trading Shipping and Logistics LLC, we've created a concept, we've created a program for investors to come in, acquire containers, and also understand the deployment business model so that the rentals which they earn comes in as their passive income. Make sense? The containers are then deployed through operational leasing structures with logistics and leasing partners. And based on those operational structures, investors receive recurring rental income distributions. Some investors prefer monthly cash flow, whereas others may prefer quarterly structures. Now, naturally, different plans, timelines, and structures may produce different outcomes depending on market conditions, leasing activity, operational efficiency, reinvestment strategies, and overall business performance. And this is extremely important. There are no guaranteed profits in any investment. However, many investors are interested in the idea of participating in asset-backed leading ecosystems because they appreciate real-world utility, recurring operational activity, and the possibility of long-term scaling through reinvestment. For example, some investors may choose aggressive reinvestment strategies where distributions are continuously deployed. Distributions are deployed into additional container acquisitions over time. That's one of the reasons why many investors today are becoming increasingly interested in recurring cash flow ecosystems. Now let's touch on the subject on why is it that retirees are specifically exploring alternative investment programs, or rather, why is it that retirees are exploring investment-backed assets, also alternative assets. Now we're going to be specifically talking about retirement funds. Now, one of the biggest concerns that many retirees have today is this: how do I maintain my cash flow during retirement? That's the main question which most of the retirees have. Because retirement is not just about saving money. Just imagine if your money is just lying in your bank account. Are you earning anything? Are you gaining anything out of it? No, right? It's about sustaining lifestyle. And many people today are worried about inflation, purchasing power, volatility, and entirely depending on one market system. You should be doing that. Never depend on one source of income stream alone. This is why some financially experienced individuals are beginning to explore diversified cash flow models, private assets, leasing structures, and operational businesses. Now again, everyone's financial situation is different. Some people are conservative, some people are aggressive, some people prioritize liquidity, others prioritize long-term growth. But what's becoming clear, I would rather say, what is becoming increasingly clear is this, which is most of the investors or majority of the investors do not want their entire capital to be sitting in one particular place alone, or in one particular industry alone, or in one particular category alone. And that shift in thinking is changing the entire landscape of investment globally. Now, without disclosing private information, I want to share something really important. Over time, we've had individuals who've started small. Some wanted to understand first how the structure works, how communication works, how operations work, and how consistency is maintained. And after becoming more familiar with the system and the operational side of the business, some later chose to expand further. That's something I personally respect, because serious investors do not rush emotionally. They observe, they ask questions, they evaluate, they study the structure, and then they make their decisions carefully. This is exactly how mature investing should work. In fact, many of the strongest business relationships globally are built through referrals, trust, transparency, and long-term consistency. Not hype, not emotional pressure, not unrealistic promises. Now, I'm going to touch on the subject on why is it that relationship capital matters. One thing I've learned in business is this: trust is everything, especially in alternative investments. That is why our approach heavily focuses on communication, professionalism, operational transparency, and long-term relationships. And because of that, many of the inquiries we receive today comes through referrals, introductions, and word-of-mouth networking. Now, naturally, we do understand that people may want reassurance before making important decisions. That is why for serious and qualified individuals, there also may be opportunities to privately speak with existing investors after proper vetting and evaluation. Again, this is not for casual curiosity. This is specifically for individuals who are serious, professional, and genuinely exploring opportunities, because we value our investors' time and privacy. I'm going to be talking about reasons why education is important. One of the reasons I created this channel is mainly because most of the people do not get the exposure or haven't been exposed to conversations about alternative cash flow, logistics-backed assets, leasing ecosystems, intellectual property assets, and operational investment models. Most people are only taught one path, but education, it matters. Awareness matters. Understanding how businesses operate matters. And whether someone ultimately chooses to work with us or not, I still believe it's important for people to expand their understanding of how the global economy actually functions. Because when you understand logistics, assets, cash flow, leasing, and operational systems, you begin seeing the world differently. If you're someone who's genuinely and serious about learning more about shipping container opportunities, asset-backed business models, or diversified cash flow systems, then here's what you can do. You can visit our website and fill out the inquiry form, or reach out to us through our WhatsApp, or send us an email. You can check out in the comments section below. I'm going to be putting the details of our website, or you can reach out to our official WhatsApp number, or send us an email. You can receive the details from my channel's description section. And what's going to happen is, from there, one of our managers may reach out to you and help you understand what are your goals, your background, your level of seriousness, and whether our programs are even suitable for you or not. Because we believe in proper evaluation and professional onboarding. And for qualified individuals who are seriously considering participation, there may also be opportunities for additional due diligence conversations, including speaking privately with our existing investors whenever we feel it's appropriate. That is, after we've done our evaluation and we feel that you're really serious, you've got the capital, you've got the fund to get started with, then we'll be connecting you with one of our investors from the community. Again, this process is designed to maintain professionalism, structure, and transparency. At the end of the day, the goal is not hype. The goal is education. The goal is awareness. The goal is helping people understand the real-world industries and operational ecosystems functioning beyond traditional investing conversations. Some people will stay entirely within traditional investment markets, and that's perfectly fine. Others may choose diversification into alternative investments, and that's their decision. But one thing is certain, the world is changing, and the people who educate themselves stay informed and understand how cash flow ecosystems operate, and hence they will be able to position themselves differently over the next decade. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you found value in this video, in this discussion, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with someone who would benefit from this information, and stay tuned for more educational content on alternative assets, shipping, logistics, publishing businesses, and long-term wealth building systems. I'll see you in the next video. So you guys take care. God bless. Cheers.